Hello, folks, and welcome back to twitch.tv/gameswithnick. And we are peaking, so I should probably reduce my volume a little bit before we start. Where's my mouse? Here's my mouse. Alright. Sorry, I'm gonna try and cut this out. Increase by 10, that should do it. Alright, how does this sound? Okay, this is better. We are in the yellow, but not peaking. Okay. Hello, folks, and welcome back to twitch.tv/gameswithnick. We are continuing our playthrough of Jack the Ripper because we actually have no makeups to play tonight. We'll be streaming on Sunday and Monday regularly, so yay. Yeah, so we are Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. Currently we're playing as Watson. We're investigating the murders that are happening in the Whitechapel district. So far, we've met a sympathetic, what would you call it? Clinic, there we go. Clinic doctor. A Jewish cobbler whose accent had me kind of pause for a second. And some incompetent police officers as usual. Right now we're trying to figure out. Let's see, we did find where Leather Apron was and what happened to him. I don't quite remember what our goal is, except that there's a gas leak in a house nearby that we want to try to get rid of. And there's some sort of mobster that wants access to that house. So we'll see where that leads us.
Good evening, Finlay. How are you?
Oh, good evening, Doctor. So. And you?
It smells of gas here.
You might say, Doctor. Without wanting to speak ill of the force, I have to wonder if the police are up to something.
Oh,
what do you mean?
Well, I was outside yesterday evening when the light went out at my place, and a gas smell came from the abandoned building across from my place. And a minute later, the police arrived and were snooping all around like it was them who hit the gas before arriving.
Sorry, we're having some more audio issues. I know exactly how to fix these. Bam. Hi, Bethindus. How you doing? Alright, I've lowered my mic. I need to raise myself up a little bit. Compensate for that. And that should make it so that there's no reverb anymore.
Have things sorted themselves out with your strange tenant?
Don't talk about it, Doctor. That man is truly bizarre. He goes to the most sordid locations once night falls. 3 days ago, my wife told me she saw him come in with blood-stained clothes and a fearsome look.
I'm doing well, thank you. Just chilling on a Friday afternoon, playing some Sherlock Holmes, so good times.
Interesting. What does he look like, and how old is he?
Oh, he's my age, give or take, so the other side of 50. He's always dressed in a...
Oh, right, we're inquiring after Dr. Tumblety, that's what we're doing.
Close to 5'11", I'd say. He has a strange voice, not just his accent, see? His voice.
No, sorry, you're right. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday afternoon. That's better. Long week.
Very well. Goodbye for now, Finlay.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Now then, let's go to the police station.
Alright, our goal is to figure out what's up with Dr. Tumblety.
Yes, Doctor? So, how far along are the investigations into these two recent murders? Everyone around here believes both crimes were committed by the same man.
But as for the Hanbury Street and Bucks Row crimes, nobody has heard or seen a thing.
By the way, have you played these games before, Bettinus?
By the way,
Are you a fan
have
of
you heard
Frogwares?
of a Dr. Tumblety?
No. Is it important?
Yes. Well, no, maybe. Actually, I don't know. I have heard about this man, his frequent nocturnal outings and bizarre behaviour.
What does this chap look like, Doctor? And where can we find him?
The last I heard was that he was staying at Finley's place, the man who was looking for me a few days ago.
It would greatly assist us if you could ask Finley what your strange associate looks like. We could then see if the description matches any witness accounts.
Tumblety is a man around 5'11", about 55 years old, extravagantly dressed and with a rather distinctive voice. He boards at Finley's. You should know where that is, as the police were there only yesterday. Their arrival coincided with a strange gas leak.
Ah, yes, I know where you mean. Indeed, there was an odd affair with the gas. It was rather unsettling. We were searching for a well-known scoundrel who was ratted out by Squibby, the chap we followed and saved from the pack a few days ago. This thug, No Pity Bluto, must have been in the abandoned building in question. But there was no sign of him when we arrived. Furthermore, an inspector said that, given the smell, the thingamabob that supplies gas to the building was probably damaged. So we took no
Thingamabob,
risks and
very
hauled away
professional
somewhere
name.
else.
Oh yeah, these are good games, Bettinus. The Frogwares is a good studio. They've been doing these games for like 20 years at this point, and
I will
they go
take
a
my
little bit up and
preference.
down,
Goodbye, Doctor.
but they're
Well, it would seem that I have all the information I need for my investigation.
appreciable.
Anyway, this fellow Bluto at the
Nemesis
Wasps
is my
Nest
favorite.
rather shady.
I've played through a bunch of them already on my channel, so feel free to check out my YouTube channel for the VODs.
Holmes will certainly know what to do. And besides,
And,
I
welcome.
am worn out.
Alright, let's go back to Holmes.
Let's go back to Baker Street. Home, sweet home. There we are, Holmes. I've told you in great detail everything that happened last night.
Excellent work, Watson. We shall now be prepared to answer a few questions about the horrible murder in Hanbury Street.
Do you think we are now in a position to find out the identity of the murderer of these two women?
No, I don't think so. It's outside of our scope and not our responsibility. As much as you've done for Leather Apron and the affair with the pills, our mission is to help the police by ensuring that they don't get caught up following false leads and to point them in the right direction. Let us start from what we know with some certitude. As you have just said, it is almost certain that the same person killed the Bucks Row and Hanbury Street victims. The reason to assume as much are numerous, and I shan't elaborate here. What do these two victims
So yeah,
have in
Holmes
common?
and Watson are the same voice actors until a couple of games ago. They did a soft reboot. I think it started with Devil's Daughter, where they tried to make it more like the Robert Downey Jr. / BBC Sherlock. But, up until, I think, at the very least, The Testament. Maybe Devil's Daughter, it's still the same voice actors. After that, they switched off. And I think, he's doing a great Holmes, whoever this voice actor is. I don't know that I've heard him in anything else, I don't know his name, but I love his Holmes. I especially love it when he says, blood. He just has a way of saying that.
It's true these two women were in the same profession, but
Indeed, Watson. These two women were both prostitutes. That is of vital importance, Watson.
my memory from your examination of the scene is rather hazy. Didn't you say something about the killer's frame of mind?
I was talking about the victim's possessions that were placed on the ground and the rings missing from Annie Chapman's fingers. This killer is a cunning predator, comes from a rather humble background, and shows steely self-control in carrying out the murders.
Something is puzzling me, Holmes. Richardson's testimony contradicts the time of death given by Dr. Phillips, which also matches my own, 4:30 a.m.
And yes, we shall confirm that, Watson, and attempt to determine the precise time of death. In order to do that, we will need to place everyone involved on a timeline. Only after that will we be able to place the knife symbolizing our killer. Let's look at our timeline, Watson.
Alright. Uh-oh.
Let's put the time of death as assessed by Dr. Phillips on the timeline. The assessment of the time of the murder given by Dr. Phillips and yourself, Watson, 4:30 a.m.
Alright. Few things to examine. Do I have... They tell me... No, okay. And I have to figure out which things to use. Okay. So we're trying to figure out times of... This is letter apron. Oh, no. This is not useful. This is not useful about timing. I definitely have to use. This we most likely have to use. Oh, well, no, we should definitely put this one and this one as part of things. Timing here. No, it doesn't.
Now, for the most important part, the testimony of Miss Long. She claims to have seen a woman speaking to a man near 29 Hanbury Street.
Alright, I also need to use one of these, which is guy that I talked to in the police station. Guy. Damn. Okay. So, Miss Long saw somebody at 5:30.
Let us assume, therefore, that Miss Long's testimony is, as is most certainly the case, true. She places her meeting with the victim at around 5:30, claiming to have heard a clock chime on the half hour at the moment when she enters the street.
Over 2 hours ago before 4:30 a.m. So we probably got there at around 6:30.
We left the station at 6 o'clock
Oh,
and it took us
6:20,
20
perfect.
minutes to arrive at Hanbury Street. Our arrival at the scene occurred at around 6:20. Given the distance separating the two locations, we can deduce that the corpse wasn't discovered after 6 o'clock and therefore that the murder must have been committed before.
Yeah. Now let's read Richardson testimony again. She's a shot back of the stairs. Quarter to 5 when he got there. He had to look around. He didn't see anything. 5 minutes after, he had to leave. Oh, that's funny. When I scrolled, the mouse actually scrolls the chat as well. Cute. So he gets there at 4:45. And 5 minutes later, he leaves. Let me actually roll back chat. I'm caught up.
Now, let's put the Richardsons' arrival and departure times on the timeline.
45.
Now, let's put the Richardsons' arrival and departure times on the timeline.
5 minutes later.
Despite the great respect I have for Dr. Phillips and the value I place on our friendship, my deepest conviction is that both of you are mistaken and that Richardson is in the right and that these two testimonies put down in writing have real worth.
But how? Explain yourself, Holmes.
Remember how you assessed the time of death? You touched the fingers and body of the victim, but it was remarkably cold for this time of year. In addition, the corpse had been drained of bodily fluids. Its heat retention was therefore no longer the same as that of an intact corpse.
Egad! You're right, Holmes.
Oh, I've had some time to research, Watson.
Given these facts, my first diagnosis may have been off by half an hour, perhaps even an hour.
Thus, we can confirm Richardson's statement and establish that the murder was committed after 4:50 a.m. and not before 4:30 a.m.
I have to say, I know that Watson is not necessarily a medical examiner or forensic doctor, but not accounting for the cold weather when you're determining the time of murder. Come on. Alright, let's read Mr. Kadash's testimony. The witness got up at 5:15, went into the yard at 5:20. He goes back to the house and then returns 4 minutes later. And then he passes by the church at 5:32.
Our next witness is Albert Kadosh. Kadosh leaves the garden, enters his house, then leaves for work, seeing the clock on the Spitalfields church showing 5:32.
We said 5:20 when he goes out.
Let's place this symbol that represents Kadosh on the timeline. Albert Kadosh goes down into his garden at approximately 5:20, and on re-entering his home, hears voices in number 29's garden. Let's
4
place
minutes
this
later.
symbol that represents Kadosh on the timeline. Kadosh goes back down into his garden approximately 4 minutes after having left it, and hears the sound of an impact against the wooden fence. Excellent, Watson. All our people are now in place.
Yes, but Holmes, Miss Long claims to have seen the victim at around 5:30. But according to Kadosh, someone, most certainly the victim and her murderer, was already in the garden at 5:30.
Excellent observation, Watson. It must be noted, however, that these two witnesses, Long and Kadosh, saw the time shown on the clocks in the area, which are often inaccurate and went by their empirical and, in this case, erroneous estimate of how much time had passed. Thus, neither of these two times can be considered reliable.
Do you mean to say that these two testimonies might match?
Indeed, let's put Miss Long's meeting with the victim at 2 minutes before 5:30.
Okay.
Let's add Miss Long's meeting with the victim at 2 minutes before 5:30 a.m. Mr. Kadosh claims to have passed by the Spitalfields church at 5:32, which, given the distance from 27 Hanbury Street, would mean he was still at home at 5:31. Let's therefore put the end of his testimony at 5:31.
Okay.
Miss Long heard the man say to the victim, "Will you?" To which the victim responded, "Yes," which would suggest that an agreement was reached and that the transaction was imminent. They then proceeded to enter the garden, which puts the voices heard by Kadosh at 5:29. We had thought that Kadosh had left 27 Hanbury Street at 5:31 after having heard an impact against the fence. Thus, 2 minutes passed between the moment when Kadosh entered the house after having been in the garden the first time and the moment when he returns to go out again and leave for work. How long did he estimate this interval to be? 3 to 4 minutes. In light of all this, Watson, we can finally establish the time of Chapman's murder. Now, place the knife at the exact time.
Well, it's pretty easy. He was still alive at 5:28, 5:29, so
Now,
bam!
taking into account that the local clock isn't exact and that a young man was off by a minute or two in his estimations of his comings and goings, we can confirm Miss Long's testimony and place the time of the crime at approximately 5:30.
But in that case, Holmes, the man that Miss Long saw is none other than...
That's right, Watson. It was the Whitechapel killer.
To think that Miss Long and Kadosh were only a few feet away from him.
Indeed, Watson. Had Miss Long passed just a little closer to the victim and her assassin, or had the young Kadosh popped his head over the fence out of curiosity, the killer would most certainly already be behind bars.
That's some stroke of luck he had there.
I couldn't agree more, Watson. But his luck didn't end there, given the mutilations inflicted upon this poor woman. What must be considered above all is the killer's obvious wish to remove one and only one specific organ. His surgery pinpointed the exact spot, avoiding superfluous incisions. This suggests the man possesses at least a minimal anatomical knowledge.
Are you suggesting a doctor or a butcher?
Perhaps, but the possibilities are still too broad to conclude with any certainty. Now for the motive. Despite my almost complete lack of practical experience on the subject, I have a rather
Ooh.
precise idea of the usefulness
What a
of
cell
a uterus
phone.
and a vagina. Nonetheless, once they are separated from their usual envelope, I am more circumspect as to the uses one can make of them. What do you think, Watson? We need a board, Watson.
Alright, let me make an under small audio adjustment.
There is nothing more to do here.
No. Is there another board? Didn't you point out? Oh, that board. What could have been the possible motives for the purpose of the crime? Probably not.
Perhaps it was intended as a study specimen.
I have little faith in that theory. Hardly anything was taken from the Bucks Row victim.
Unlikely to be a
A
trophy.
desire for some sort of morbid trophy.
I'd be inclined to dismiss this motive. If this were the case, why would nothing have been removed from the Bucks Row victim?
Black magic?
Watson, this line of investigation is far too vague. We don't have a single clue in support of such a motive. We can eliminate this hypothesis.
We should remind you that Holmes and Watson stopped a Cthulhu cult recently. So, you know, before you disregard black magic, cannibalism or money could be possibilities.
Holmes, what if it was cannibalism?
Even if the idea is unbearable, we can't ignore it as a possibility. Elementary. What emerges from these possible motives for having removed the uterus from the second victim is that they implied that the killer could have carried out the same thing on the Bucks Row victim, yet didn't. This brings us to a terrible conclusion. Our killer has evolved in the space of only a few days, and if that's the case, had he already struck before the first murder to which we attribute him? And if the killer strikes again, what atrocity awaits his next victim?
We have to stop him, Holmes.
We shall do our best. This recent business of jars filled with formalin and of the American doctor might be a lead. Watson, inquire among medical circles to ascertain if there is a black market for human organs. The chances are slim, but this must be pursued.
Very well. What about you, Holmes?
I will send word to Inspector Aberline regarding our recent conclusions. I should also like to become a gas man and pay a visit to Bluto at the Wasp's Nest.
Understood, Holmes. I think one of my old university colleagues who works at the London hospital will be able to help me. I shall write him a note at once. He should be able to see me during the day. Afterwards, shall we meet here?
Yes, Watson. See you later, and good luck.
I must get to the London hospital, where my old university colleague works.
Alright. Yep.
To the London hospital, quick. My colleague agreed to meet me here in one of the London hospital rooms reserved for students.
Ah, John, you're there already. Punctual as always. Tell me, you don't seem to be in good shape. Is it possible that your recent marriage is making you this morose?
Ah, you know me well, Andrew. No, it's a strange and terrible affair that concerns me. Have you read my note?
Yes, I admit that I was
I am a little
surprised.
concerned, so let me do a local recording as well.
What do you think? Have you heard of any organ trafficking within?
No, John. No doubt there exists some exchange between colleagues. Not quite legal, of course, but nothing that can qualify as trafficking. Since the Anatomy Act of 1832, which permitted the use of unclaimed corpses for science, the black market trade was definitely halted. There are sufficient subjects available for all practitioners and students. Of this I can confirm.
Well, organ trafficking as a lucrative trade is out of the question. Then what is troubling you with the morgue?
You are talking about trafficking organs, but I suspect there is trade in whole bodies.
What do you mean to say? Whole bodies are disappearing?
Well, it's confidential, but I know of your discretion and your friendship with the famous Sherlock Holmes. I can tell you that a few corpses have recently disappeared from the hospital morgue. Cadavers that were intended for dissection. That is to say, not claimed. Poor, unknown people. If a single corpse had disappeared, it might have been a bad joke. There are many students who pass through here. It's even a meeting spot. For the majority, they are here to work. A few come here in secret to practice. It also happens that instruments or organs go missing. Nothing alarming, but so many corpses. It's very troubling.
But the hospital doctors aren't doing anything?
No. That is to say, they would prefer not to call the police at this point. An investigation would no doubt result in the suspension of authorizations for the use of unclaimed corpses. Do you think that you could intercede on our behalf with Sherlock Holmes to clear up this situation?
Which corpses are missing?
I don't know exactly, but I can make an exact list if you would like to wait here for a few minutes. Feel free to look around the room while you wait. It'll bring back memories.
Thank you, Andrew.
All right. Let's look around a little bit.
An encyclopedia of anatomy. A page on the human heart is dog-eared. Let's see.
Yeah, it's just a diagram of the heart, I guess.
It's here that students come to carry out their experiments.
This is a very, like, cool children feeling to this medical university. Mixed with some torture, I guess.
It's here that students come. This surgical instrument resembles a screwdriver.
Here we got a fake screwdriver.
It's here that students come to carry. These wheeled trolleys are very handy for laying out surgical instruments. The last lesson must have been about the human heart. And for a class of beginners, I expect, as this diagram is rather rudimentary.
Okay. Ooh.
There is a heart in this jar. Based on its colouring, it hasn't been there long. And it looks like the drawing on the board. This jar contains 2 lids with combination locks.
Oh, good lord. Combination locks? I am missing something to tell me what's the combination, though. Okay.
I am missing.
In this room.
I have no reason.
Oh, there's gonna be something with one of these desks. Oh.
This wheel won't roll despite all. A message. I'll be. Why the devil was it hidden here?
Ethan Levi, 7 years, son of Sarah and Jacob Levi, hospitalized May 18. Syphilis treated with mercury and penicillin. Grave condition, advanced stages. Possibly an imminent subject. Watch carefully. Clinical spirale valva aortae atrium sinistrum truncus pulmonalis. The magnet is in the heart. Use this board and erase it afterward. Notice that Ethan Levi, son of Sarah and Jacob Levi. Where is it? Jacob Levi.
An old prescription. Poor child, so young, yet terminally ill. Strange, someone scrawled something. Part of it is in Latin. These are instructions, it would seem. The last lesson must have been...
Oh no, it's the jar.
There is a heart in this jar.
Yep.
This jar contains...
Okay. This guy. Alright, so we are looking vena cava superior, which is the Book of Inferioris, Spirits number 1. And Valva Aorte is number 5. And then Atrium Sinistrum is number 8.
Look, there was a bit of paper stuck between the 2 lids.
I guess 6. And then number 8. And the Truncus Pulmonalis is number... I saw it. That one is number 2.
Incredible! Someone has hidden a magnet in this heart. But to what end?
All we got up there is magnets.
Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. Incredible.
Ah,
There is a
shit.
magnet
I
with
hate
a
these
hook behind
puzzles.
This pane of glass.
Oh,
I am
God.
in need of something.
Oh, fuck's sake. Okay, this is not as bad as I thought. I was worried it was one of those where you have to push things. It's still annoying. God damn it. Oh, fuck's sake. Like, I understand the logic of the puzzle itself. Damn it, it's the corner. But I don't understand how the magnets on the top left corner... Oh, wait. No, okay. Okay. Oh. They gotta be able to cross each other, right? They were crossing each other. Oh, thank God.
There, all done. Holmes couldn't have done better.
Okay, I've got a hook. What am I supposed to do with a hook? I missed. There must be something else I missed.
This rag is full of grease. It certainly wasn't used for a dissection. Was someone doing some mechanical work here? A hole.
Oh,
I can make out something inside, but how to get it out? I will need a hook. I found it. A coded message. I do believe I will need Holmes.
Here is the list, John. The missing corpses are those of a woman, 40 years old, beginning of August, another, 55 years old, 2 weeks ago, and recently, a young woman. These corpses had nothing in common except that they didn't have any apparent lesions.
All of this is very troubling. Well, I think that I have all of the information possible, and I promise that I will do what I can to clear up this business. I must leave you, my friend, and...
In the name of our friendship,
Please, don't go so stare.
to be sure. Thanks again, Andrew.
it is I who must thank you, John. Don't forget to keep me up to date and say hello to your charming wife for me.
Count on me, Andrew.
there was a weird,
I must go
like,
to the wasp's nest to find this rogue that Watson dubbed
updated line
Doctor.
read or
He may
something
be
there.
able to provide information on Dr. Tumblety. This lead, although tenuous, is well worth following. I must return to Whitechapel, but it would be better if I did so incognito.
Just to double check. Yeah, it just sounded like there was a re-recording or something at some point in that last conversation with the doctor. But how do I get to disguise myself? Oh, like this.
This should do the trick. Let's go. Let's go to the wasp's nest. There's something here. There's something here. I need something. There's something here. I need something.
That is not just my thingy. Huh? Oh.
Old Hong. There's something here. I see a jewel. It's fallen between the floorboards.
Fuck! Fuck! Damn it. Oh, I just wished it upon myself, didn't I? Alright, let's do the slidey puzzle. That. There. No, this would be my way, so it's better there, but... Why I hate these fuckers. Ooh, I can do this, and move this, and pop this, and that. That. Alright.
A Hebrew inscription. Going by the length of the chain, it must belong to a child.
Oi, what'll it be to drink, Gav?
What'll it be?
I have nothing to ask. Hello there. You looking for a gas man?
Sorry, just making sure my chat is up to date.
You really a gasser? You sure it isn't a bobby?
Well, if you don't need me, I'll be on my way then. I've already been paid up.
Stay. Who paid you?
A doctor, Marston, I think he was. He told me you'd talk to me about a foreigner, name of Tumblety, if I did you a favour.
Right, mate. Might happen.
What is it you need me to do then?
Listen to me. At the end of Whitechapel, there's an abandoned dump of a house. Opposite Finley's boarding house. Upstairs in the mess where the gas pipes are, you'll find a sack with something heavy inside. If you look in, you'll regret it here. You find it, you bring it here, and you don't tell a soul, right?
Got it. And then you'll tell me about this Tumblety so that I can report back to the doc?
Yeah, doctors know people. And since you is here, it's because he'll move mountains for his American. Me, I don't know much. But you can tell him that he'll have to talk to Squibby. He seems to know lots about plenty. When you come back with a sack, I'll tell you what he needs to tell Squibby so that he snitches on the yank to him. Believe me, mate, it's as explosive as 10 miles worth of gas in your damn pipes.
Okay.
Right then, I'm off.
Go. Give me some air.
I could arrange for the police to come down here and arrest this thug, but he seems pretty tough and would probably be a lot less cooperative than if I play along. It's best I handle this myself, including meeting the mysterious Squibby.
Alright, let's go and take care of this thing.
It's the abandoned house that Bluto pointed out to me. He must have set up his hideout there. There's a strange smell coming from this old building. Good day, Finley.
Ah, good day, sir. Have we met before?
It's me, Sherlock Holmes, but I don't want it to be known that I'm here. Can I count on you?
Certainly, Mr. Holmes. I shall be as silent as the grave.
Your tenant, Dr. Tumblety, is he here?
I don't think so. I'll go and find out.
Alright.
It would seem you've been having some gas problems.
Don't talk to me about it. The problem is from the abandoned house not far from here, but nobody has come to take care of it.
Perhaps I could go and take a look. Do you have a ladder?
No, but I think in the pile of wood under the stairs there is one in pieces. And if you also need something from the scrap heap, some old tools or who knows what, feel free to take it, Mr. Holmes. But leave the dishes in good condition.
Do you have a ladder?
Oh, shit.
No, but I...
Goodbye.
Thank you, and goodbye. Some old nails. They may... Finley's ladder is smashed to pieces, but all the parts appear to be here. This must be a piece of the ladder. This old cloth could be used as a mask. I must moisten my makeshift mask. There, this damp cloth will do for a mask. This lead pipe could help me to repair the gas lines. A heap of rusted iron crockery. This lead pipe could help me... This must be a piece of the ladder. This must be a piece of the ladder.
Oh, there's more stuff on this side.
This lead pipe could help me... A broken hammer. I will have to find a handle. Part of a perfume atomizer.
Perfume atomizer? What the fuck are we dealing with here? Alright, okay, first of all, make a hammer. There we go. Next up, let's take them by those. I feel like we probably need to tie them together, but maybe not. Nails. Makeshift ladder. Good.
I hope this ladder will support my weight.
There we go.
Let's go. My cloth mask won't make much difference, but I'll be able to inspect the room for a few seconds. A small torch, a useful tool for opening safes, I would assume, but the gas bottle is empty. Someone left here in a hurry, presumably because of the gas leak. This iron bar will help me. I need something.
Like an iron bar.
The leak is coming from here. The satchel is behind these pipes. This explains why the thug wanted someone who knew about gas. He must have hidden it there in great haste and broke the pipes in the process. The satchel seems to be quite stuck. I don't think I can get it out without passing out. For good.
Alright, yeah, I need to go talk to my cobbler friend, I guess.
How do, sir?
Hello. I'm sorry to say, but I'm closing.
I am here because I found this.
Abraham's beard. The son of one of my neighbors was beaten in the street a few weeks ago and it was stolen from him. If you would give it to me, I promise to return it to him and get you a reward.
Money doesn't interest me.
Who are you, sir? And what do you want from me?
Again,
I'm a friend of
the
Dr.
accent.
Watson's. You know him, don't you?
I don't
In
know.
that case, welcome. Dr. Watson is a great man, and I would be pleased
Like,
to
in a
help
way,
one of
it's
his
authentic. From their perspective, I don't know who this voice actor was, so I don't know how offensive it is.
You work the leather and perhaps even tan it yourself. I believe tanners wear special masks to protect themselves from the toxic emissions given off by the vats used to soak the leather. I have a gas leak to fix, and I won't survive without something effective to protect myself with.
Go see my cousin Abraham, who has a pet shop a little further down the road. Tell him that Isaac sent you. That's me.
Yeah, I'd figured. Thank you.
I'll be off now.
My regards to Dr. Watson.
Right, pet shop a little further down the road. Down this road?
This is a pet shop. Hello, sir.
Hello.
You must be Abraham Solomonovich. I came on behalf of your cousin, Isaac. He said that you might be able to help me. I need a good mask to protect me from gas emissions so I can repair a leak.
Yes, it should help you. But I let it drop into the big snake cage, and they are very dangerous beasts. I don't know how to retrieve it.
But you must be equipped to deal with these creatures safely, surely.
Of course, but I broke my hook. It should be over there. If you succeed in getting that beast from its cage, you will be doing me a great favor.
Jesus, we're doing favors for the whole neighborhood around here. Alright,
I have the broken hook. I can repair it, but I'll need some materials. Perhaps I'll find some material at Isaac's that will be of use. This cage must do to hold the snake. I need something.
Oh.
This cage must do to hold the snake.
Have you let the snake out of it?
No, not yet.
No, I can't do that. This cage will do the trick. The mesh is small enough. I need something.
Oh. No?
I need something.
Oh, you know what?
Perhaps I'll find some material at Isaac.
He did say Isaac. I forgot that that guy was Abraham. My bad. I guess I should just talk to him.
I need a few items for your cousin Abraham. May I borrow them for you?
Of course. You're welcome.
This may come in handy.
Oh.
This should do the trick.
Alright, this will do... No?
This should do the trick.
Anything else? No? No. Okay. So... Okay. Tie it. Bend it. Alright. Got a snake pole.
There we are. Magnificent. If I may ask, why is it you have such equipment?
I haven't always had a pet shop, my friend. I was a butcher for many years, but I wasn't serious enough to be a real meat man, and I was looked down upon in the community. I found myself carting carcasses from the slaughterhouse, a repugnant job in which you catch vile illnesses. And it breaks you before you're out of your
At least this guy doesn't have
the idea to make
a very exaggerated Jewish accent, so maybe the other guy was
Since
legitimate.
then, I have quit that work, and with my little savings, I started this business. I lived through the deaths of thousands of animals. Now I am devoted to their lives. If you are interested, I could sell you a little canary, for example.
No, thank you. Let's return to the boarding house.
Alright. Map. And I should have a beautiful mask. Actually fix the gas pipe.
The satchel, rather heavy and firmly wedged. Dislodging it will take a concerted effort and is better done in a safe environment. I must repair this leak before I can get the satchel out.
Alright. 1, 2, 3.
There isn't enough gas. The pressure isn't high enough. There isn't enough gas.
Yeah, okay, how do I... That's us. Let's see. Oh, I moved this to tell. No gas coming here, no gas coming here, no gas coming here. Oh, I need to do this to close things out. Okay. There's no gas coming out of... Oh, I see. There we go. Alright, and that should do it. Right? How do I see?
Elementary.
There we go.
This much talked about satchel is very heavy and seems to contain metal dishes. I told Bluto that I wouldn't look inside, but I've little need to. It's quite obvious that it's full of silverware.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put iron dishes instead.
Full of crockery. The satchel makes the same noise and weighs about the same as if it were filled with silverware.
Alright, let's go bring this back to Bluto.
There is still gas in here. Looking at the state of this cat, it won't survive much longer if it stays here.
Oh no, poor kitty! Come here, kitty.
Let's go to the wasp's nest.
I'm not a cat person, but I'm not gonna let a kitty
Let's
die.
go to the wasp's nest.
Jeez. What's up?
Pass the sack to me. Did you look in?
I give you my word, but it won't belong to you until you tell me where Squibby is.
Fine. The poor idiot was taken by the peelers the other day. I don't know why some chap started to screech about it. He was the Whitechapel killer, but he ended up followed by an hysterical mob. In a flash, the bobbies had him rounded up and locked down.
Do you mean at the local police station?
Might not. But if you or the doc talk to him, tell him that about the kayak business. I'll forget our score if he rats on the yank. He'll know. Now, hand over the bag.
I say, that's all a little bit wishy-washy. I'm not sure it's worth the satchel.
Hey, don't shake it like that, moron. If you don't want to end up with a knife in the back, you'll get busy with the pipe. Got it?
Here, take it. That'll teach me for being a good Samaritan. Honestly, how rude. I'd best be off now. Better to not be around when he opens the satchel.
Alright. Guess I should go talk to the bobbies.
I can't just waltz into the police station to ask if they've got Squibby locked up. I'll have to come up with a ploy to find out if he's actually there. Then I'll need to get the policeman to leave for just a few minutes so I can talk to the prisoner.
So, you little jackanapes, you want to ride on the big whirly?
Another day, perhaps, Mum. As a matter of fact, I would like to know if a chap I know called Squibby happens to be in this police station, and how many policemen are inside.
Information? Yes, but time is money for me, you know.
Here are a few guineas. So, Squibby,
I'll tell you everything that I know, my ducky. Nothing. I know nothing about whether Squibby is there, and I don't give a damn. The Bobbies
Hey,
don't
you just
whisper
scammed
sweet
me.
nothings to me, like the girls in the nice places. And now get lost before I get all worked up. Hey, if you have something to offer to a lady, I could tell you a little bit more, maybe.
I'll be back.
You do that.
The girls from the nice houses. That monster. Oh. Danny must have been referring to establishments like Miss Bella's that Watson told me about.
Alright, let's go talk to Miss Bella.
Fine. I have to go to the brothel. Good evening, Lucy. Do you remember me?
Mr. Holmes, come in. You're strangely dressed. What have you come to do in the area?
I've come to ask if any of your colleagues, or perhaps even yourself, associate with any of the policemen from the local station.
Certain girls go with police officers, it's true, but Bella would be able to tell you more than me.
Alright.
Very well. I'll be on my way.
I don't know what we needed to have this interaction.
You are a friend of Dr. Watson?
Indeed.
A fine man, your Dr. Watson. He got me out of a damn business with one of my clients. We gave this boor a lesson to remember, and he's since gone to France, having snagged one of my best girls. But it's a break from all of her chatter. You're looking for information about the police, is that right? I can't help you there. The girls concerned are busy, and anyway, I don't have the time.
What is bothering you so much?
A client left me a case of bottles as payment. It happens all the time. I'm saddled with all this stuff. He told me that these perfumes were the latest thing, straight from Paris. Well, I'd barely smelled the first one when I nearly fainted. There might be some good ones in there, but I'd have to find out if it's really perfume, so that it won't burn the skin off my pretty girls.
Madam, I will undertake to tell you exactly which of these...
Why do I have a
products are
problem with
perfect.
audio?
If you
Oh
would
god, I
trust me
swear to
for
god, I
in
hate
exchange, I will
my
let you
headset
know
right
about
now.
Squibby.
Yes, I know him. We've struck a deal, Mr. Holmes. I'll give you these bottles.
Fuck's sake. Okay. You go in. Change the noise gate. Raise the open threshold. Right. Alright. Hopefully that does something about it. Let me lower the volume a little bit more again, just in case. I'm at it. Team wants to update. Hell no.
I will need a book to help me identify Miss Bella's perfume. I believe the bookshop on Glenworth Street, not far from Baker Street, has just reopened. Let's go and take a look.
Alright, back to Baker Street. So our good old friend Barnes was helpful to us in our weekend adventure, but then started getting really into some very dubious things that have to do with Cthulhu. How you doing, man?
Hello, sir.
Hello, are you the new bookseller in the neighborhood?
Yes, my name is Barnes.
Well, I guess
One of
this
my
is a
first visitors.
prequel to
Welcome. What are
those
you looking for?
adventures.
I'm looking for work that can help me identify perfumes. A book that deals with vegetation and its possible uses in the domain, for example.
I would recommend the Encyclopedia Spartica about vegetation. It consists of a reference on the matter. This book is the most complete that there is.
Fine, I will take it.
But it's just that, I have no idea where it is. Would you believe that my predecessor classified works by their acquisition date? Nowadays, we advocate a thematic classification. However, I am getting down to the task. You aren't looking for anything concerning the history of the scripts. I'm fascinated by the subject, and I already have numerous books on the topic.
It is no doubt very interesting, but I need this book Spartacus without further delay.
Fine, fine. I will try to find the acquisition date of this encyclopedia, Mr.
Holmes, Sherlock Holmes.
Ah, fantastic. You are the man for the job. Perhaps you could try to find the missing dates. That will buy you some time.
There are some dates missing?
Yes. I forgot to mention that detail. The dates were written on cardstock attached to the columns, and there was one date per section. As one goes along, you will see there is no specific order, and certain are missing. I remade the labels, but I don't know where to put them. They're there on the counter.
Are there any other details to know?
The proprietor inscribed a date every 2 years since his arrival in 1864, up until now, that is 1888.
All right.
He left a note regarding his method of shelving, but I didn't understand a word. I do believe, in fact, that he was a bit mad.
Well, I will see.
All of the numbers placed on the same column as the different ending numbers. For example, 1886 and 1866 together would create an inconceivable disaster. The dates whose numbers added together will produce the same sum cannot be put on the same column if they indicate the same sense. Okay.
I must put all of the labels.
Okay, so the things add up to, disregarding the first 9, we have 14, we have 13, and we have 10. Now, I can put something with the same ending number. It can be a 6 or an 8 or a 4. 82 would be 10. They're pointing in the same direction, so that doesn't work, so it should be 17. 86, so that's 14, 11, 15. I cannot put a 6, an 8, or a 4. I could put a 2 because a 10 doesn't go, and it's the only option. Alright. And this means that these two have to go in here. Pretty easy.
There, Mr. Barnes, the labels are in their correct places. That should facilitate your classification. Have you found my book?
Yes, what luck it was to meet you. It was acquired in 1882.
I will look for it. Thank you very much. I would suggest that you organize your books quickly. I am in the habit of visiting my local bookstore at least once a week.
You are right, Mr. Holmes.
It's like, ooh, money. 1882. Oh, there. Perfume is described in a musical metaphor as having 3 sets of notes, making the harmonious centichord. The notes unfold over time with the immediate impression of the top note leading to deeper middle notes, and the bass notes gradually appearing as the final stage. The quality of a perfume is usually assessed in terms of 3 parameters. Fragrance is the most important issue, describing essentially the smell of a perfume. It is followed by the intensity of a smell, ranging from subtle scent to overwhelming odor. Also, safety use is important because not all of the elements of a perfume could be sound for a lady's tender skin.
This encyclopedia on plants and spices is just what I need to analyze these so-called perfumes. Let's return to Baker Street.
Right, map.
I will need my work table.
Great.
I need something. Let's get to work. I must analyze these perfumes.
Oh, oh, these, okay. Beep, beep.
These shapes represent the smells at my disposal.
Is about right.
This perfume is ghastly.
Well, the result is good, at least. Ooh, this is interesting. So, this is our base. And we're gonna need a small one and a bigger one.
Excellent. Now, on to the next step.
Average. One will probably be horrendous. Nope. No. There we go. Pick one. Small one.
Elementary. Fine. I have to go to the brothel.
Oh, you heard Holmes. He's going to the brothel.
Fine, I have to go to the brothel.
Getting some little action.
So, my dear man, have you reached a verdict?
I have distinguished the good perfumes from the bad, but even the good ones are nothing more than common sense for adolescents.
Who cares? It'll freshen up a few of my girls. Wait, there's a perfume here called Valerian. What is it?
It's not really a perfume, technically speaking, unless you like cats. It's more of a kind of medicine.
It smells strange. I don't really like it. Here, I can give it to you. And I have some information. Squibby is most assuredly locked up at the police station hereabouts. It would also seem that he's the one who doesn't want to come out.
Do you know someone by the name of Danny?
Danny? Big Danny Nutcracker? The one who hates cats?
That's the one.
You're interested in that kind of bird? Be like dipping your biscuit in a pig's trough. She's dangerous, a real cyclone. So beware. And her appearance. She claims to adore perfumes. She'd need this whole box to smell sweet.
I doubt it'll take much to make Danny cooperate, perhaps by offering her a little gift. Let's go to the police station.
Alright. Where's Maggie? Nope. We're up.
Do you remember me? Would you be kind enough to help me by telling me how many policemen are inside in exchange for this bottle of perfume?
This is perfume. He's got a funny look on his face. Me, I want a pretty bottle with a button so that I can spray it all over myself. Got it? You still there, honey pie?
I'll be back.
You...
Wait. Issue? Do I have the atomizer? How do I... Let me go back to brothel.
I have no reason to go that way.
Apparently not. I vaguely remember what I'm supposed to do next.
I have no reason to go that way.
Not the clinic. What do I want to do? Oh, it's your regulars.
Hey, look, it's Mr. Detective. It's...
Shh, I'm undercover on a special mission. Don't blow my cover.
Aye, aye, Captain. We won't let it slip.
Now, what are you doing in this area at such an hour? You're far from home, aren't you?
We've come to give Pounce a hand. About his cat, you know. Downstairs round is a nasty old lady Big Danny lives. She threatens to kill Pounce's cat, 'cause she's allergic. Or so she says. And it makes it cough and vomit just by seeing one.
Allergic.
Oh, that's it. She stoned Pounce and his cat yesterday, and the poor thing took off and hasn't been seen again. We've been looking for it, but nothing.
Oh, I think I have it.
Does that cat there belong to Pounce?
Bert! That's my Bertie!
Be careful, he is injured. Let's take him to the pet shop. We might be able to take care of him. Let's go to the pet shop, children. If you all go in at once, you'll scare the animals. Pounce, come with me. Everyone else, stay here.
What can I do for you?
I have come to return your mask.
Ah, thank you. If you need something else, do not hesitate.
You don't have a perfume atomizer by any
May I
chance?
present young Pounce and his cat, Bert. Poor Bert, he's been injured.
It's Big Danny who threw a cobblestone at him.
Big Danny? Danny the Jaw? The terror of the Highlands?
Oi, that's her, mister.
You know this lady?
Lady is not the appropriate word. Fury, more likely. Danny is a night worker. Before that, she performed in a circus where she fought against men for a penny a round. It was said that she never lost a fight.
Is there anything you can do for poor Bert?
I don't know. This cat seems to be in a sorry state. I have a book on cats over there. Can you find it while I look at its wound?
Yes.
Alright, here. Valerian or Cappenstale has an irresistible attraction for all passing cats. The effect of its consumption on felines resembles in all ways the euphoric effect of alcohol on humans. We know that the simple fact of carrying an inch of one's person will be enough to cause even the most errant of cats to be glued to your heel. Typo.
Aha! This must be the cat book Abraham needs.
What can I do for you?
Here is the book on cats.
Thank you, my man. I will see what I can do for this cat.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir.
Am I now able to purposely sabotage Danny by... Nope.
Can I help you, sir? Can I help you, sir? Can I help?
I guess not. Oh, you know what? Maybe in the, by the boarding house. There's some shit. Yeah!
Part of a perfume atomizer.
There we go. Hey, we got you, Big Danny.
Do you remember me? Would you be kind enough to help me by telling me how many policemen are inside in exchange for this bottle of perfume?
There ain't much in the station. It was pretty busy, but now there's only one constable, dearie.
There we are. Now Danny has been sprayed with valerian, a scent that's irresistible to cats. I must create a diversion in the street to make the policemen come out, but I need some cats. Lots of cats. To the pet shop. I must go to the pet shop.
What can I do for you?
So, how is Bert doing?
He'll pull through. But he must eat, and I have no food for him here. We will need to find him some.
And where can we get some cat food?
We must find Hardiman. He sells meat for cats. It's around this time when he passes the end of the road. You might be in luck. You'll hear him from far away. He's always calling beep, beep.
Thank you for everything, Mr. Solomovich. So, Pounce, shall we look for the cat food seller? Poor Bert has to be fed, and I might have some work for you and your friends.
Yes, we are hard at work in solving those prostitute murders.
Beep, beep.
By saving a little kitty and getting a bunch of cats to assault an ugly prostitute, I guess?
Beep, beep.
Good evening, sir.
How do? A little kebab for the cat? These little brats can't possibly all be yours.
Pardon? Oh, no, none of them.
Ah, children, they're our pride and joy. And yet,
Do cats really like kebabs?
they adore them. How many would you like?
I'll take the lot.
I beg your pardon, sir?
How much for the lot?
For £2, they're all yours, my lord.
It's a deal. Listen up, my little soldiers. You need to find all the cats in Whitechapel and lead them towards the police station. You'll be armed with delicious kebabs to entice them. Go, as quick as you can now. If my calculations are correct, the cats will be seduced by Danny's odor and will throw themselves on her. That should cause enough of a commotion to get the policeman to come out onto the street.
It's not a lot of cats, but I guess if 7 cats were coming after you, you would be upset.
But what's all this racket? Calm down. Come on, out. And make those chaps shut up.
Well now, let's see what I can do about Squibby.
Alright.
This must be the door that leads to the cells.
Oh shit, I hate this one. I don't know what I did. I don't know how that worked. I'll take it. I'll just fucking take it. Squibby? Oh, Squibby.
And who are you?
I've come to talk to you about Tumblety.
So you're here to kill me, are you?
Absolutely not. I've come on behalf of someone you know, who told me you have some explosive news about this American. In exchange, he has settled your bill on the kayaks.
You ain't no street person, you. You're a bobby, trying to wind me up, aren't you?
Not at all. Will you agree to talk?
Not a chance. I'll give nothing away for nothing. I don't have to follow Bluto's orders. I'm in it up to my neck, and the bobbies won't agree to keep me locked up here for the rest of my life.
You mean to say that you are here of your own accord?
Damn right. Only death awaits me out there. I was almost lynched because I was blamed for the murder of those poor girls who were chopped up like animals. The police put me here for my own safety. That's when this journalist showed up.
A journalist?
I socked him once for disrespecting me down at the pub. He said I'd pay for it one day, and that day came. He said he was going to squeal to the papers about me. With my description and my tattoos and all, I was arrested at the same time the police said they'd caught the Whitechapel killer. While waiting to write the article, he started the rumour. Now the streets ain't safe for me no more.
I understand. Listen, if I find this journalist and make him promise to not write a word about you, and if I also agree to pay for you to get out of London, will you tell me everything you know about Tumblety?
You sure know how to speak to ruffians, don't you? You got yourself a deal.
What's the name of this journalist?
Bulling. Tom Bulling.
Tom Bulling? That name sounds familiar. That wouldn't be the journalist that Watson met at the Wasp's Nest.
Huh?
Ah, no, nothing. I was just thinking aloud.
Alright.
Well, I'll be going, Squibby.
You're right. It ain't healthy here.
I shall leave Bluto's treasure at the station. The police will know what to do with it.
Hey, but where? You're not. Oh. Okay.
I shall leave Bluto's treasure at the station.
Yeah.
Hey, but what are you up to here, you? Off with you, and make it quick before I take you in.
Let's go to the Wasp's Nest.
Right?
Let's go to the Wasp's Nest. No, if Bluto sees me, it could prove to be quite dangerous. Let's return to Baker Street to change.
Alright. At least they don't have me go to Baker Street and back. That I appreciate.
Good evening. There'll be a nice tip in it for you if you can tell me if you recently saw a journalist here.
Yes, sir. A damn nuisance, that man. And a real cad. He cursed me out something fierce for staining a book that he put down, even though it was him who was shaking so much that he soiled it with a whole lot of ale.
He was reading a book?
Not a real book. a halfpenny rag. He put it down on the ground, and I put it in the paper bin for the stove. It should still be there if it weren't already put in the fire.
All right.
Goodbye, miss.
At your...
Some paper, ink stains. This must be the table where Bulling writes his copy.
The Boys Standard, published weekly, now ready. Price 1 penny. Numbers 1 and 2, 24 pages, splendidly illustrated and handsome wrapper. Spring-heeled Jack, the terror of London. The history of this remarkable being has only been specially compiled for this work only by one of the best authors of the day, and our readers will find that he has undoubtedly succeeded in proving a wonderful and sensational story, every page of which is replete with details of absorbing, thrilling, and
Spring-heeled Jack, a fantastical character that terrorizes the population of London. This journalist has some far from cheerful reading. Some paper, ink stains. Evening. A pint for me and have one for yourself. I'm looking for a journalist, a good client of yours. Goes by the name of Bulling. Ring any bells?
Haven't seen him for a day or two. He must be sleeping it off somewhere. Where to hide from the landlord when you owe some serious bread?
What paper does he work for?
I don't know, but I can't believe that he works at his rag, because he's always round the pub scribbling his useless papers. The last time I seen him, he spent a whole day at that table drinking and scratching away from morning till night. He finished by celebrating, and without the help of a rich chap, he would have fleeced me of a guinea.
all right.
Thank you, my friend.
That's nothing.
Anything else I can do around here?
No, if Bluto sees me, it could prove to...
Yes, sir.
That doesn't look like it. Okay.
Let's return to Baker Street. Tom Bulling isn't here, but the Baker Street irregulars should be able to track him down. Perhaps Watson will have something to tell me in the morning.
All right.
Up at last, Holmes. Were you able to get anything from that crook at the Wasp's Nest yesterday?
Not yet, but I am working on it. And yourself, Watson, what were you able to find out from your colleague about the sale of second-hand female parts?
Holmes? Well, actually...
Let it be, Watson. It was tiring, no doubt.
Well, as soon as I mentioned the possible existence of a black market dealing in human parts, everyone in the hospital became very tense. This silence, therefore, tells us more than anything else at this point.
However, I have trouble believing that such a peculiar dealing as that involving Annie Chapman's uterus could have gone unnoticed in the medical community, if that is indeed what happened.
That's my opinion, as well as that of my old university colleague. He maintains that any form of organ trafficking would be impossible, not to mention unnecessary. However, he did tell me something rather troubling: the unexplained disappearance of several corpses from the hospital morgue. He has allowed me to investigate, provided I do so discreetly, and here is what I found, concealed in what appeared to be a secret letterbox.
Interesting, an encoded message.
Indeed, and look, the symbol of a certain well-known Spartaca encyclopedia is printed on it. Perhaps it will help in deciphering the letter.
Thank you, Watson. Are you going out again?
I promised a new patient, Captain Stenick, I'd go round to examine him. He lives nearby. I may be back before you've had a chance to decipher this mysterious message.
All right. I guess I should probably just use...
Good. Let's
Yeah.
decipher the encoded words in the message that Watson found at the London hospital.
All right. Ooh. So this is definitely a key. What's the other piece?
The index of the Spartaca encyclopedias seems to have a connection with this letter.
Bartek Encyclopedia? The message from the heart just says 6.
The index of the Spartacus.
I might need something else. Room?
Good. Let's decipher the
I am still very confused. S is 6. Can I click on these? Maybe A is 6? Well, I don't know why these are actually cut off in half.
the index of the Spartacus.
Is it just A is 6? B is 7? I guess that's the only thing that comes to mind. B is 8. D is 9. Oh, sorry. 4. Well, if A is 6, 4 should be Y. Um, that's a 9. 8, 9, 10. F is 11. I have a feeling this is not gonna be the right answer. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5. I'm sorry, is it literally just... Let me reset. Let's just do the dumbest thing ever. Maybe I was really overthinking it. Uh, 14. 23. God damn it. I was looking for a cipher to literally just replace the letter with half the Roman numeral. This is the dumbest cipher that I've ever seen. Put some work into it. Okay, 18. I swear to God, I was so confused. I was like, what? Oh, okay. No, sorry. Sense. 15. That is an. That's a 4. No, that's a 19. One. 10.
Elementary.
New command, subject, woman delivery, Wharfdale 17. That was the dumbest puzzle.
Watson, I congratulate you on your investigation. This letter seems to well and truly confirm the organized trafficking of bodies in London.
My God, how dreadful.
Oh, you know what?
Let's go to the address that appears
Playing
in this
through
message.
Professor Layton
Just
games
take
would be
your
fun
weapon.
eventually.
It hasn't
Let
left
me add
my
those to my
side since the
streaming
beginning
list.
of this whole affair, Holmes.
I'll also be putting on my workman's disguise again. One never knows.
But what about me, Holmes?
Stay as you are, Watson. At worst, you can pass as my employer. Find Wharfdale Road on the map of London, Watson.
Understood, Holmes.
Alright.
Yes, I have, Holmes.
Here we are, Watson. 17 Wharfdale Road. Let's be careful.
You think so, Holmes? This house seems to be abandoned.
Numerous footsteps. Apparently this passage is used frequently. This door was recently reinforced. Impossible to open it.
Right?
This wheel is in good shape, but it is impossible to remove it. The pin holding it is stuck. This wheel is in good shape.
Okay, I only have my... Ooh, nice thunder sound. Okay, got... rope.
Given the layer of dust accumulated in the square, this door must rarely open. This trolley seems to be in good condition, apart from the broken wheel, of course. This stone was blocking the wheel. A tarred cover. There, this piece of tarpaulin is very thin, but solid enough for our purposes.
But what the devil are you doing, Holmes?
You know, I'm also wondering in myself, but I'm sure that we'll figure it out eventually. Covered in tar, maybe we can use that to grease this, thing?
This wheel is in good shape. No, I can't do that.
Find a way to get that wheel so I can push the thing. That much I've gotten.
This wheel is in good shape, but... This wheel is in good shape.
Probably,
Interest
yep,
here.
not gonna let me leave. So, everything, I guess I can try opening it.
Closed.
Okay.
This lock is solid but very old. I should be able to force it. This lock is solid but very old.
What shall we do, Holmes?
This lock is solid but very old.
What shall we do, Holmes?
I am not sure, Watson. That is the
This
dilemma.
drawer seems to be in good condition.
There's nothing else I can grab. I have a very limited inventory, so I cannot really combine those objects. I don't see anything else I can gather.
There, by sliding
Oh.
this piece of tarred tarpaulin, I was able to quite simply force the lock. Let's go in.
Incredible.
That is not how I was expecting we were gonna force that lock.
These little metal instruments are rather curious. I'll take one. These jars contain chemical products. I have no idea what they are for. Some makeup applicators. A trapdoor. We must find a way to get down through it, Watson.
Incredible.
Right?
I need something.
Oh, there?
Excellent. Now, on to the next step.
What is up upstairs before I go down?
This door was recently reinforced. Impossible to open it.
Okay. Down.
I will go down alone, Watson. Try to cover for me if someone should happen along.
Understood, Holmes.
Clothing that appears to be destined to be incinerated. Here's an electrical mechanism. Turning the handle should supply it with energy. Ah, it would seem that there is a broken connection. Pincers. A hammer. I'll take it. Rings, wedding rings, gold teeth. I daren't imagine where they came from. This old box must have held nails a long time ago. Nothing of interest. This may come in handy.
Okay, it's working. That's good to know.
This may come in handy. Numerous footsteps. Apparently this passage is used frequently. Closed. It is a stretcher that can be dismantled into two pieces. I have to find a way to take it upstairs, I think. I'll be needing it. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that.
I feel like I'm missing. Oh.
A coffin, recently made. A pointed poker. This is sure to come in handy. Excellent. Now, on to the next step. This box is broken. The wires must be reconnected. Pray, think.
Oh, I see. Yep, gotcha. It. Okay, so let's see. Down. Oh, so close. Alright, that's one. Let's see. Yep, but big. You. That was easy enough. Yeah, also easy enough. Blammo.
That's good, Holmes. I don't know why you brought this thing back up, but I can take it.
Perfect, Watson.
Right. I need to think.
This may come in handy. This may come in handy. Closed. 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 Closed.
Oh.
Closed. The fuse box has burned. The lift is blocked.
Oh,
I'll
hey.
find another way out.
Key. There we go.
This bent key just needs a little repair job to make it usable.
That's what I was looking for.
This may come in handy.
Okay, and straighten. Boom. Out.
Let's hope that it really is the key to this door.
And so, Holmes?
Right.
This little instrument will serve perfectly as a pin punch.
But what the devil are you doing, Holmes?
Elementary.
But what the devil are you doing, Holmes?
No, I can't do that. This stone was blocking the wheel. Excellent. Now, on...
Oh. I thought you were bringing the things, Watson. What are you doing? Stupid doors that something is slightly off with the game, but let's ignore it.
Look, if we lift a board from this window, we should be able to pass.
You are joking, Holmes?
I never joke, Watson.
You are joking, Holmes?
I need something. I hope this ladder will support my weight.
Ladder, in quotes.
I need something. Let's go.
My God, Holmes, where are we?
For us to find out, my friend. This woman is dead, Watson.
Yes, several days ago, Holmes, but the body is perfectly preserved. No odor, no visible decomposition.
Right?
It's a puzzle box. Let's see if I can open it.
It's gonna be a digital root problem. Yeah, it's gonna be a digital problem. And 14 is 5. 9 and 10 is 1. No? 10? Well, let's do this until we figure out the spot. Okay. So maybe it's just the last digit that counts. Yeah, that looks like to be the case. Yeah, because that's 10. 19. No, sorry. Not 10. That's 14. 14 plus 9 is 23. It's 12 plus 9 is 21.
There we are. Magnificent.
Alright.
This square object is very unusual.
Here is the information that the boss was able to find out about the client. Ethel left pink and spoke in a composed and soft voice. At the end, she couldn't do more than whisper, but she was still able to sing some of the Schubert tunes that she loved. She would undoubtedly have been a virtuoso on the violin if her husband hadn't impeded her. Instructions. Pink robe. Assorted jewelry. Seance planned for 1 weekend, but the body will be taken today or tomorrow by 2 chaps that the boss recruited. Her sign of recognition will be a triangle and a square attached with a red ribbon. No worries, they seem to be professionals, won't be a problem. Important. Mind the quality of your lime for affixing the false eyes. During Seance 4, the boss has asked me to close the eyelids of the ghost so that the clients don't notice anything. Because an eye started to fall out. I was furious and wasn't able to proceed to the symbiotic culmination, which alone permits us to get the client's full cooperation and make off with the maximum. Transfiguration is the key, as he always says. The boss asked me to make known that if, in the future, such negligence was repeated, some of us may well be part of the next spectacle in the starring role. I hope that the message is understood.
This letter speaks of a sign of recognition. Interesting.
Right. So these are people
Glass eyes in all shapes and all colors.
scamming.
Strange smell. What do you think, Watson?
A zinc chloride solution without a doubt. A product generally injected into cadavers to help preserve them.
Oh, and I bet it's this guy. Prince Alexander Raskolnikov. Spiritualism. Contact with the hereafter. After becoming a celebrity at the court of the Tsar of all Russia, for having invoked the greatest figures of the past such as Napoleon, even the terrible Alexander the Great, and Robin Hood, Prince Alexander Raskolnikov is not a series of the humble. His exceptional gifts of donation allow him to invoke your dearly departed to make them come back to life under your very eyes. He will speak with you and will appear in the window of time created by the vital energy.
Amusing.
Lumber, Smith and Ferguson, souvenir of Liverpool, autumn 1883. Give you my love, my Alexis.
This old photo shows a young man dressed after the fashion of an employee in front of a shop. The man in the photo taken in 1883 and the one on Prince Raskolnikov's leaflet are one and the same, and no more a prince or a Russian than you or I, Watson.
Right?
Look at this photo. It is inscribed Ethel Broome Street, 1851 to 1878. This young woman who died 10 years ago looks like the one stretched out on this table.
Oh, that's so creepy.
These clothes are new, just like the deceased's dress. I imagine her clothes were changed. This may come in handy.
No?
This cheap jewel must be an
Alright, here we go. Bam.
I'm missing some information. Someone made up this corpse. The lips have been colored and the rings around the eyes carefully camouflaged. Yes, somebody wanted to give the impression of life.
To what end?
Watson, this corpse was embalmed and made up and dressed to look like a woman who had died 10 years earlier. All is clear, Watson. A charlatan, passing himself as a prince, making the dead come back by using corpses as puppets.
Which explains the disappearance of corpses at the London hospital. It was to fuel this sordid entertainment.
Alright. So I guess this is it, huh? Oh.
This door was recently reinforced.
Look, Holmes, a label from the London hospital. It must be a corpse stolen from the London hospital. Holmes, I hear a cab stopping in the courtyard. Someone's coming.
It is probably the dealers, Watson, but instead of running, what if we were to meet them, if we managed to win their trust?
You are joking, Holmes.
Right?
Oi, what you doing there, you? It's private in here.
Calm down, we aren't here as tourists. We have come to collect our packet.
Oh, well then, you just had to say. I was told that you weren't no tramps, but I weren't expecting that you was... Given your get-up, I guess your boss.
Yes.
Well, the subject ain't ready yet. I ain't done with it yet. You'll have to come back.
Well, that's a real problem.
Say, we have a personal order too for some organs. You wouldn't know where we can find them.
What type then?
Kidney, uterus.
Oi, I don't hack up my dollies. That's the work of an artist.
But you wouldn't happen to have a colleague who might furnish this type of item?
No, you can't make a copper doing that nowadays. Since the bigwigs made it easy to get stiffs, the medical schools are bursting with bodies to carve up. Docs and students have got all they need. Business is dead. For a few coppers, hospital bloke might help you out, but I don't know for sure. They'd be right in for it if they got caught. It probably just ain't worth it.
I understand. And what do you do with the corpses once you're finished with them?
I don't bother myself with that. For one thing's for sure, after the seance they're good for nothing but chucking out. I ain't Napoleon's embalmer. Well, if you'll excuse... You've got a funny way of talking, you.
Oi, it's normal. He's a brain, you see. A thinker at that. Seize you round, old man.
So, Holmes, the corpses that have disappeared from the London hospital are used during seances. Nothing to do with organ trafficking.
Yes, it all suggests nothing of the kind is underway in London. In the medical world, all dealings would be visible, not to mention unnecessary. The crook we met confirmed this viewpoint. It's hard to imagine, therefore, that our Whitechapel killer perpetrated these massacres with the goal of selling the organs.
What lead should we follow now, Holmes?
Try to learn more about Tumblety. This squibby should give us some information, but first I must stop the journalist Tom Bulling from harming him. I hope my secret police will soon have some information on him. While we wait, Watson, I would ask you to inform your colleagues of your recent discoveries. It would be good if these morbid ghostly spectacles stopped, and this will need to be done at the London hospital.
You are right, Holmes. Another false lead followed by the police, Holmes? Yesterday's Times says that a John Fitzgerald, who had claimed responsibility for the murder of Annie Chapman, has finally been released. He was, it says, lying.
That's of little importance, Watson.
It's incredible. It's been more than 3 weeks since the murderer struck, and the tension is as strong as ever. The press won't stop talking about him, and people are still full of fear. Perhaps the killer got what he wanted, people talking about him, and has chosen to stop committing crimes. What do you think, Holmes?
Yeah.
I doubt it, Watson. Everything leads me to believe that he is in hiding and waiting for the right moment. The area is packed with police, and that would obviously hamper his work.
You think he will start again, Holmes?
I have every reason to believe nothing will stop him short of his arrest or his death. Sadly, our investigation has reached a dead end, and I fear that we'll need another victim to get back on track.
Yes, how awful. And what of the case of the burnt mat? Have you resolved that?
Oh, that's a matter of little interest, and resolving will be of no benefit, above all to Miss Fleming. Ha! I hear the footsteps of my faithful Wiggins on the stairs. The game is afoot again, Watson.
Mr. Holmes, the scribbler resurfaced. At last word, Pounce saw him racing to Central News Agency where he works.
Today's stream feels very side questy when it comes to what we're trying to do in the game.
We'll find him.
Good work. Here's something for you.
Alright.
I must leave you, Watson. If I can get my hands on this Bulling, I will have much more interesting news on the bothersome Tumblety. I have only to change. If you can, Watson, I entreat you to stay here and await my word. We may not be more than two when the time to act comes.
You can count on me, Holmes.
Do I need to disguise to go to the place?
I must go to the Central News Agency. I'm at the press agency where Bulling works.
What do you want?
It would be very informative to search Bulling's desk before meeting him, but first I must get rid of this bothersome person, perhaps by offering him a scoop. Good evening. I'm looking for Tom Bulling, the journalist.
He isn't here. He must be sleeping off somewhere. He gave me a tip. He wanted to save a scope for me. He always gets a good dirt, and yet when he comes in here, it's just to warm his behind. Look, he pulled his desk over the stove.
Alright, good to know.
Listen, Scoop, I'm bringing it over. Only if Bulling isn't here, I'm leaving.
Wait, what's this scoop?
Bulling promised me a reward for info. There's a charlatan who does spiritualist seances that are a little bit special. He steals corpses from the morgue, puts makeup on them, dresses them up, and then uses them as puppets.
I'll give you your dues. We'll pay you if this info is true.
I'll write down the address of the hideout on the crook's leaflet, but the police will be in on this one, so you better get there in time.
Understood. I'll go alone. Too bad for Bulling.
Hey, you wouldn't have a little something in advance?
Look on Bulling's desk. I know that he always leaves a few coins around for his snitches. Cheers.
Watson won't be pleased that I'm divulging the case, but I don't see any other way.
I mean, it didn't look that hard to be.
A mirror.
Mr. Moore, I have noticed that one of your employees, Thomas Bulling, arrived at the meeting in a state of inebriation. I must ask you to take care of your team's discipline. I know that you indulge this journalist given the explosive information that he manages to flush out, but this behavior is unacceptable. This should not repeat itself or I will hold you personally accountable. And director.
Bulling's boss, Mr. Moore, seems to be protecting the journalist. This is Bulling's desk, the one closest to the stove. Some coins. I will take them. That will avoid suspicion if the journalist returns. A charred match. This may come in handy. These are Bulling's notes. They are of little interest at the moment, but one never knows.
I don't think there's anything. Okay.
The fire has almost gone out, but the stove is still burning hot. Bulling recently used the stove. The fire has almost gone out. Bulling recently used the stove.
What else?
A telephone, a device that enables you to talk with anyone in London, provided the receiver has a telephone too. I would imagine these are compartments to organize the paper's incoming dispatches.
What am I missing?
Queen Victoria, to keep the journalists on their toes, I suppose.
Oh, I guess with the cloth I need to open, yeah.
A torn piece of blotting paper. Curious, curious. It looks like someone wanted to destroy this piece of blotting paper that had red ink on it. I can make out a few more letters, but backwards. I need something to help me.
Easy, I got a mirror right here.
By putting this piece of blotting paper in front of the mirror, I can read what is written.
Information on the Whitechapel killer. Call by telephone WA.
Apparently, our journalist gets his information by telephone too. Sadly, the name is almost erased. If I telephone one of Bulling's contacts pretending to be his assistant, I might learn something of interest. This page has some light ink stains. It contains a list of telephone numbers.
Oh, okay, it's this number, that's Walsby. So it's 1875.
Walesby 1875, an ingenious way to save his contact. Central, Walesby 1875.
Seems to me a pretty dumb way to do it.
Thank you.
If it's that easy to access, but...
Walesby, I am listening.
Hello, my dear man. I'm calling on behalf of Tom Bulling.
Bulling? So you know where this hypocrite, this liar, this...
Not at all. He is currently unobtainable. In the meantime, he has left me with a note asking me to pursue his work, and he told me that you were aware.
That's just great. I dropped everything off at his agency, but he didn't even bother to do the same for me. Tell me he at least gave you the information that I was asking in return.
I am ready, sir. I'm listening.
Do the police have a suspect for the bizarre theft of cigarettes and carrots that took place at the Commercial Street Market?
Bizarre theft of cigarettes and carrots. Scotland Yard. Searching for rabbits. That coughs.
I think, according to Bulling, that Inspector Lestrade's team is looking for a rabbit with a bad cough.
Ah, damned Bulling. One day he'll be in some serious trouble for mocking the police. And now, can you tell me, with regards to the parliamentary scandal, what did the head of the Whig Party respond to the Tories who were treating him as a great incompetent?
The head of the Tories, he will surely be your best representative. No? What did the head of the Whig Party respond to the Tories who were treating him as a great incompetent? Goes around in circles. Secrecy? Tories are treating him as a... Oh. Vote for me, I will surely be your best representative.
According to Bulling, the head of the Whigs said, "Vote for me, I will be your best representative."
Good. That'll make for a good paper. There is one last question. According to a government social study, civil servants make the best husbands. Why?
A civil servant. He is never tired and has already read the newspaper. Makes a lot of noise and has already read. Goes around the circles. See? He is never tired. Oh, when he comes home for work, he is never tired and has already read the
I
newspaper.
believe I can confirm that it is, because civil servants aren't tired and have already read the paper when they come home from work.
Very true. Good. It seems like Bulling has finally done his work.
As everything is all in order, can you now tell me where the information is that you sent to the agency?
Yes. There is a large brown envelope near the dispatch cabinet. It's in there that we exchange our tips with Bulling.
1,000 thanks. Goodbye, sir.
My salutations to Bulling.
Alright, so we gotta figure this thing out.
There are several documents in this file. Let's see.
Spring Hill Jack, the Terror of London. Fantastical character. First appearance, 1837. Associated with several suspicious muggings and robberies taking place in London and other parts of England. Description. A diabolical appearance. Bat's wings, horns, blue flames coming out of the mouth and or eyes, etc. Identifying marks. All of the eyewitnesses speak of his capacity to make leaps of superhuman distance, where his nickname. Conclusion. Having become the very example of urban legend of our century, this character fascinates as much by his demonic and fantastical aura as by the fact that he has never been caught by the police. Important. At the time of the attacks against the young women, Lucy Scales and Jane Aslop, the papers covering the events had record sales for weeks. That's why Spring Hill Jack is the recurring hero of cheap fantasy publications and theater pieces. Popular and financial success guaranteed.
I wonder why Bulling is studying this tale about Spring Hill Jack so meticulously.
Terror of London, Spring Hill Jack, the Fenton Killer, the Butcher's Blade, the Whitechapel Butcher, Dr. Death, the London Ripper.
What does that mean?
Mr. Charles Moore, I thank you for this testimony of the Whitechapel Killer that you followed. Not easy authentication. Do not hand over to the press without my invitation. Thank you for your collaboration and your discretion. We won't forget this, Inspector Aberline.
Well, well, a piece of information about the murders transmitted exclusively to the police without informing the press. That has piqued my curiosity. Perhaps I should go to the police station to get more information.
Tom, about the letter. Given the thanks from Inspector Aberline, I think they took the bait even if they were defending themselves. Think of the second. We must be ready if he kills again. Either way, we must keep up the correspondence, be responsive. This idea will save us. We'll get the information firsthand and we'll make history. But stay quiet and keep a low profile. I am not willing to know, and you will be the first one who gets it if there's trouble.
What does that mean?
Permit me to defend myself against the slanderous accusations brought against me, who are not lied to regarding the facts. Mr. Bulling spends all of his time in the most odious of pubs. But I am only doing my work as a journalist. It is during these outings I can find the best information because I am thus in contact with a common man. Let me prove to you, dear boss, that I can bring to this agency what it deserves. The most extraordinary and the most stimulating information for...
Easy handwriting, yet fairly recognizable. I've inspected everything, but there's no sign of Bulling. He must have dashed off to his HQ, the Wasp's Nest. However, before I go to see him, I should find out about this mysterious information. It could help me get something out of the journalist. To the police station, then.
Alright.
Let's go to the police station.
Come, come. Back again, are we? Come this way, good man. The inspector has a few questions to ask you. Here is the man, Inspector.
Congratulations, Humphreys. So, my lad, one would say that you owe us a bit of an explanation for having left something with us. What is your full name and profession?
Sherlock Holmes, consulting detective.
Well, how about that?
Mr. Holmes, can you explain this get-up, your presence in the neighbourhood despite my instructions, as well as this most opportune restitution of jewels?
Firstly, I should tell you that not being under your command, I never understood what you said as an order, but rather as advice. I thought I would be wise to follow them to a certain extent. I intended to explain the stolen goods sooner or later. My presence here will allow me to fill you in on a few conclusions that...
If it is in regard to the Whitechapel murders, it won't help us much. We have no doubt that we will be revealing the identity of the murderer to the people in the area in a day or two.
I'm impressed, Inspector, and I offer you my sincerest congratulations. Nonetheless, you should investigate a certain doctor.
Listen, Holmes, let us do our work. You've rid us of a great pain in the rear end by finding those jewels for us. It's weeks of work that you've saved us. But I think you're a little underqualified for a case like that of Jack the Ripper. Until it's over, I demand that you do not set foot in the area. Is that clear?
I take note of your advice, Inspector. You mentioned Jack the Ripper. Pardon me, but you know the name of the murderer?
Oh, it's from a letter that the Central News Agency sent our way. It was written by the killer. And even if it can't be proven, it must be recognised that the signature is striking. This information is confidential, and I would ask you to keep it to yourself, Holmes.
Can I have a little look? Out of mere curiosity, Inspector. Then I shall disappear.
In that case, I don't see any objection.
Thank you so much.
25th September 1888. Cher Patron. I keep on hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. I have laughed when they looked so clever and talked about being on the right track. That joke about leather apron gave me real fits. I am down on horrors and I shan't quit ripping them until they get buckled. Grand work the last job was. I give the lady no time to squeal. How can they catch me now? I love my work and want to stir it again. You will soon hear of me with my fun little games. I saved some of the proper red stuff in a ginger beer bottle over the last job to write with, but it went thick like glue and I can't use it. Red ink is fit enough, I hope. Ha ha. The next job I do, I shall clip the lady's ears off and send the police officers just for Jollywood and keep the slider back till I do a bit more work, then give it out straight. My knife's so nice and sharp, I want to get to work right away if I get a chance. Good luck, yours truly, Jack the Ripper. Don't mind me giving the trade name. Yes, one good enough to point this before I got all the red ink off my hands. Just it. No luck yet. They say I'm a doctor now. Ha ha.
Me? Not up to discovering who Jack the Ripper is? Well, we'll soon find out, won't we, Inspector Aberline? I know who wrote the Dear Boss letter signed Jack the Ripper that Inspector Aberline gave me, and above all, I now know why. This Tom Bulling was inspired by this fantastical character to build a myth out of the Whitechapel killer. Perhaps he would be receptive if I shared my discovery about him and prevent him from accusing Squippy. I must find him at once. My best bet would be to try my luck at the pub.
Map. Hub.
Ah, Holmes, I got your message, and here I am.
Perfect, Watson. That oaf Bluto is looking for us with evil intentions, and he may be hiding here. I will try to get more information inside. You, Watson, will be our lookout, and at the slightest suspicious sound, do not hesitate to call the constable on his rounds.
Alright. What's up?
Good evening, Mr. Bully.
We know each other?
No, however, I have some information that may be of interest to you.
Talk, my friend. A pint for you if what you say is worth something. Does it have to do with the Whitechapel murders?
Indeed, I know the identity of the man who wrote a letter to the police, a letter entitled Dear Boss, in which the author claims to be the Whitechapel murderer and is signed Jack the Ripper.
What?
It's a journalist who is inspired by Spring Heel Jack in order to strengthen the credibility and the seriousness of his agency. This new Jack will give him some first-hand information that he, in turn, will dole out sparingly to the authorities, as well as some carefully distilled indiscretions that the big papers will come to beg of him. He plays both sides off against one another and becomes the chief orchestrator of the rumor. He wrote this letter in this very spot, and he has red ink on his fingers. Like you.
What exactly are you after?
What a coincidence.
You've been threatening a certain Squibby to distribute a telegram naming him as a possible suspect in these murders in revenge for an old feud. I would suggest you don't write this note, and that you leave Squibby alone.
I'd forgotten about the existence of that rapscallion. I threw that at him when I was visiting the station to get the dope. You should have seen his face.
You must also stop sending these letters that waste the authorities' precious time.
Right, well, I don't even know what you're talking about. I have a great relationship with the Bobbies. Just ask around. I don't have to answer to nobody. Now leave me alone.
Alright.
Farewell, sir.
Good riddance.
And we do have to talk to Squib again, though.
Sees me, it
Oh,
could prove to be quite
I thought that was the
dangerous.
exit. My bad.
Let's hurry to the police station, Watson. We are close to our goal. Squibby will be able to reveal what he knows about Tumblety.
Oh.
Squibby! So that's it. You're a free man again. We were just coming to the station to find you.
Yeah, the Bobbies agreed to let me go, and I came to see Bluto before ferreting you out. So, you've seen the newspaper man?
Yes, he is in the pub and everything is taken care of, but I'm waiting to hear what you have to say about Dr. Tumblety.
Okay, but we have to be quick. One night, I goes to see Bluto in his hideout that ain't far from the boarding house where this Tumblety bloke has a room. I see him coming in too. He must have been on one real binge. To the point, the Tumblety fella was there, and he smiles at me, all nice like. He tells me he's a great Yankee doctor, but my business interests him. I'm interested, I tell him, but I'm not the type to just jump right in without getting to know a person, see? He invites me around to his room to talk business, just him and me. We empty a bottle or two, and all of a sudden, like, he wants to show me what he's got in this big trunk that he always carts around places. I just about vomited, see? In these jars, just like pickles, you know, there were pieces of meat. And he whispers that it's the lady bits of some old dames.
Ooh.
He called them...
Do we have a suspect?
I call them love killers, I would. Yeah. After that, he starts to go on about rich folk. They ain't nothing but dogs. And I won't tell you the worst of it. Then he comes all close to me and puts his sweaty hand on my leg. He was one of them types. Not me. I don't wait a second before I give him a good thrashing. And I start running and let go of him, and he still wants to see me again, just to talk business. But then, I had to do time, so business.
Do you know where he can be found?
Why, ain't he in his digs? Maybe he got to liking life behind bars too. I heard that in some jobs, there's a way to...
Thank you for your information, and we'll meet again, my friend. Here is the sum I promised to get you out of London.
Ciao, fella. I've just got a little score to settle with Bluto, and I'm heading for the country.
Pretty sure that's a racial epithet for a Jewish person.
My dear Watson, we must strike while the iron is hot. We have avoided meeting Dr. Tumblety until now. The time has come to do so.
Do you have an opinion, Holmes?
We must assure ourselves that the factor collector of female organs and a murderer who removes said organs are resident in the same area at the same time is nothing more than coincidence.
I thought that you wouldn't bring me back your keys. Oh, it's you, Mr. Holmes. Good evening, Dr. Watson.
Indeed, it is I again. One of your tenants left without returning his keys?
Yes, it's Dr. Tumblety whom we spoke about. Shortly after your last visit here, some constables came and asked me a few questions regarding him. Barely had they left than the doctor came barreling around a street corner and rushed up into his room upstairs. A little while afterwards, while I was tidying, I heard a thud in his room and a rush down the stairs. He left with most of his bags, but without returning his keys. You can go up and see if you wish. The door is still open.
Alright. Let's go.
Careful, Watson. Do not walk around here until I've inspected these marks.
I know, Holmes, I know. I understand your methods. Ah, you have your rule and magnifying glass. I thought that you had forgotten them, Holmes.
That's cute.
I never forget the essentials, my dear Watson.
That's cute.
Right foot, light trails. The man was running. Size 13. This isn't water. Going by its sticky texture and odor, I'd say we're dealing with formalin. These are the footprints of a tall man who had recently stepped in formalin and who left this room in a hurry.
Well, can I walk on it and enter the room now, Holmes?
There are a few pieces of...
Oh god, that's the uterus, isn't it?
The man who left the footprints
Oh.
on the ground must have walked in it while fleeing. Going by its size, this enormous trunk must be a wardrobe. These brackets are rather unusual. What do you think, Watson?
Let's see, Holmes. These are the names of the battles from the American Civil War.
Alright,
Let's see. 5 latches, each fitted with a 6-number combination system.
Change the hats. So Gettysburg was, of course, won by Union.
These footprints are the same as those found in front of the door. These footsteps must be those of Squibby. He must have hit Tumblety, who dropped one of his jars.
And he ran out. Elementary, Holmes.
Perfect, Watson.
Do not understand how you find yourself in this situation. Your passionate discussions on the legitimacy of this war should have convinced more than one. I still remember when you imitated him during that meeting. You struck a very characteristic pose and you exclaimed, "Vicksburg is the key. The war can never be brought to a close until that key is in our pocket." We all applauded. I'm sure that even Lincoln himself would have applauded. During these dark hours, it was rare to have the occasion to laugh. So many deaths, ending with our much-loved president, killed by this coward and left to join those of the victory at Gettysburg, who courageously fell so that the next day the key would be in our...
If this letter is addressed to him, it would appear our doctor is a veteran of the American Civil War. Vicksburg is the key. Now, that is interesting.
Dear Francis, it is impossible for us to meet again. I am feeling terrible, as pursuing our relationship further would put both my marriage and my reputation in danger. I must return to that life of love, fleeting and physical, in which a few calling to these young men assures corporal peace and anonymity. These growing feelings that I have for you make me scared, and I would prefer to shun this passion for the fear that it may never leave me. Perhaps we shall cross paths again one day in a discreet location where like-minded men meet. I know that you frequent them regularly. You never hide yourself. For my part, I will spend more time with my wife and girls in order to find the serenity and I hope to throw the veil of oblivion over our passionate embraces. All the best, Charles. My dear Francis, it is putting aside our common past and thus, as a friend, that I am sending you these words. I have learned from some mutual friends of your recent trouble with the law. You should be more careful. England has nothing in common with the Wild West, but her seedy areas can be just as dangerous. Your attraction to young rogues will cost you dearly one of these days, whether it be at the end of an alley or in the benches of a jury. A man of your quality and fortune does not have to frequent the hovels and bring his pistol with him everywhere. It is not necessary to use violence to find partners, unless this violence pleases. Certain circles that we used to frequent are still open to you. Take advantage of this healthy and respectable company rather than demeaning yourself with these destitute lads. And pray, get rid of that god-awful chest. Who knows what the people to whom you show while bragging must think and speak of it? The man you once loved, Henry.
This Dr. Tumblety seems to be attracted to men more than women. That much is clear. So, the doctor has a handgun, and he would use it to restrain young men, perhaps.
Anything else?
Going by its size.
Vicksburg is the key.
I am under the impression that the dates written correspond to the battles, Holmes, but one is missing.
The foreign center is a Confederate victory. I am missing something. Maybe I need to go.
I have no reason to.
No. Do I really have everything I need to solve that puzzle?
I need more information. Going by its size, this enormous.
Well, okay, so Gettysburg was, I'm pretty sure, the one in. Oh, what are these? They're in European format. It's weird. So Gettysburg was in May. Um, Vicksburg was the next day. And then just going back, right? Oh no, the later date here is July. So that would make it 4th would be the next day. Then 2nd. What's it 68? It's 60. What am I doing? I was looking at the wrong one, that's why. It'd also be 3. 1. September. And 12th of April. And now we kind of just brute force it, I guess? It's There's gotta be something about regiments that I'm missing. How is it possible? How do we not have a book what the various regiments in the army look like?
Going by its size, this is...
Okay, well. One at a time. The dumb. Oh. Oh.
elementary.
Brute forcing it.
This is dreadful, Holmes. This trunk
Oh.
contains 4 jars in which organs
Extra didn't
are
load for
floating.
some reason.
Watson, can you tell me at a glance what these organs are?
I would say that they are parts of female reproductive organs.
Are these specimens fresh?
No, and I am quite certain of it. From the colour and appearance, I'd say these organs have been in these jars for several months, if not years.
Let's go to Baker Street.
Is there someone here?
Yes.
What's going on, Finley? You seem to be in a panic.
The 2 police officers wanted to know if someone suspicious had entered here. The Whitechapel killer has struck again, and if I understood correctly, he killed 2 women in the past few hours.
Where?
I don't know. The police didn't tell me anything.
Quick, Holmes. We must catch up with them.
Certainly not, Watson. Mr. Finley, do you know if the doctor had any other pieces of luggage up there apart from this trunk?
1 or 2, I think.
Do you take care of the doctor's laundry?
My wife does laundry for the tenants once a week. The sheets likewise.
Would you be kind enough to let us know as soon as possible if the doctor shows up again?
Certainly. I'm just worried that he won't be back, you see, and I'm annoyed about my keys.
Holmes, I don't follow. The Whitechapel killer is, at this very moment, very close by, and we are just staying put, twiddling our thumbs.
The Whitechapel killer has always been nearby, and what will we do? Go back to the scene of the crime or crimes and mix with the onlookers and trample the crime scenes even more? No, our time will come. Let's return to Baker Street.
Let's go back to Baker Street. Home, sweet home. We were less than 200 feet away from the first victim a few minutes before she was murdered. We might even have heard the murderer's voice, and we haven't done a thing for the past week.
You're the one not doing anything, Watson. For my part, I have been working, and as you know, I've made good use of this week by tracking down and verifying all of the solid facts on these 2 murders to write up the notes that are on my desk, read them over again, and try to gain a bit of perspective.
Note of the murder of Lestrade at Dutfield's Yard. Certain information that I have collected must be verified. Lestrade, nickname Long Liz, 45 years old, height 5'5", occasional prostitute. He lived for the past 3 years in a stormy relationship with a certain Kidney, a waterside laborer, 36 years of age, whom she left a few days earlier. Charged him with assault but failed to appear in court and the case was thrown out. The victim was discovered dead by one Louis Diemschutz at 1 o'clock in the morning on September 30th. The man's first thought was to verify if his wife in the building next door was still alive before sounding the alarm. The 2 doctors who came at the police request to the scene of the crime in the moments after the discovery of the corpse put the time of death after 12:46 a.m. Because of that, hemorrhage due to throat injury. The weapon was a small knife with a large blunt edge. The verification of this statement is necessary. Could this wound have been caused by another tool? Neither the body nor the clothes were damaged, soiled, or disturbed by the killer. The right hand was open, stained with blood, and resting on the chest. The left hand was on the ground, partially closed, holding a packet of pastilles. The location of the discovery was a courtyard called Dutfield's Yard. Doors lead onto Berners Street in Whitechapel. The victim was found stretched out on the ground a few inches from the wall of one of the buildings served by this courtyard, the International Working Men's Club. The association, composed mainly of Jews originally from Russia and Poland, were organizing a conference that night on the subject, "Why Should Jews Be Socialist?" presented by Mr. Morris Eagle. The meeting ended around 11:30 p.m., but many members remained to debate and sing within the premises of the association. An American present that evening declared to have been in the courtyard at 12:20 a.m. and went into the streets and didn't see anything unusual. He then returned back inside the club, but his estimation of time spent outside is approximated best. 2 witnesses were quoted by the press. Constable Smith was doing his rounds in the area on the night in question, and a Hungarian by the name of Schwartz, who made a statement at the police station accompanied by an interpreter because he does not speak English. The transcription of these statements by the press should be treated with caution. It would be advisable, if not possible, to consult the exact content. Observe the clothing worn by the victim as well as their possession at the time of the discovery of the body. Clothing: a long black cloth jacket, fur trimmed around the bottom with a red rose and white maidenhair fair and pinned to it. Black skirt, black crepe bonnet. Check neck scarf knotted on the side. Dark brown velveteen bodice, 2 light serge petticoats. 1 white chemise, white stocking, spring-set boots, 2 handkerchief, one is known to have fruit stains on it. Thimble, a piece of wool wound around a card. The pocket in their undershirt, a small piece of lead pencil, 6 large and 1 small button, a comb, a broken piece of comb, metal spoon, a hook as from a dress, piece of muslin, 1 or 2 small pieces. Note on the mother of Catherine Eddowes. Catherine Eddowes, 46 years old, height 5 feet, occasional prostitute. She had a regular relationship for 7 years with one John Kelly, a man of no regular employment and about the same age as the victim. The victim was found dead at 1:44 a.m. on September 30th by P.C. Watkins, who was on his rounds. Secured the area by calling to the watchman of the warehouse located some feet from the crime scene. According to the doctor who arrived on the scene at 2:18 a.m., the victim had just been dead for a half hour. Unlikely, but we know from experience how hard it is to precisely establish the time of death when the corpse has been mistreated. Because of that, hemorrhage due to a throat wound. The medical examiner also confirmed that, additionally, the extractions committed on the corpse were done post-mortem by a right-handed man possessing a long-bladed knife. The victim was subject to numerous mutilations. The victim was found stretched in a dark corner of Mitre Square, a notorious meeting spot for prostitutes and their clients because of its remote, poorly lit location. It should be noted that the victim was freed from the Bishopgate Street Police drunk tank at 1 o'clock in the morning. Mitre Square was visited at 1:30 a.m. by P.C. Watkins coming from Mitre Street, and at 1:42 a.m. by P.C. Harvey coming from the Church Passage. The 2 police constables didn't see anything suspicious about the area, but it should be noted that P.C. Harvey didn't enter Mitre Square, unlike P.C. Watkins. The watchman who came to lend a hand to Watkins at the time of the discovery of the body had been awakened during the time of the crime. The door was located a few feet from the spot where the victim was dying and didn't hear anything until the police called. Firstly, we must notice that the clothing worn by Catherine Eddowes is very characteristic. I think, in particular, the patterned green chintz shirt as well as the white men's vest. A few of possessions, including the thimble, were found around the corpse. The white apron was found on the corpse, with a part missing. Thus, this missing part, previously resewn, thus ensuring authenticity, was found at 2:55 a.m. on the night of the murder by P.C. Alfred Long, states that the object wasn't there at his preceding patrol at 2:20 a.m. A piece of bloody apron was found in the entrance hall leading to the stairs of 108, 119, and 1/4 model dwellings in Glowstone Street. At the right of the entrance, just above the apron, was found the following inscription in chalk: "Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing." Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. 1/4 model dwellings building being almost exclusively occupied by Israelites and Goldstone Street being the site of a very popular but frequented market, he decided to erase the inscription before the day broke. Kate Eddowes' belongings. Wearing at the time of her murder: black straw bonnet trimmed in green and black velvet with black beads, black strings worn to the head, black cloth jacket trimmed around the collar, and cuffs with imitation fur, and around the pockets in black silk braid and fur, large metal buttons. Dark green chintz shirt, 3 flounces, brown button on waistband. Shirt is patterned with Michaelmas daisies and golden lilies. Men's white vest, matching buttons down front. Brown linsey bodice, black velvet collar with brown buttons down front, gray stuff petticoat with white waistband. Very old green alpaca skirt, worn as undergarment. Very old ragged blue skirt with red flounces, light twill lining, worn as undergarment. White calico chemise, part of men's lace-up boots, mohair laces, red boot repaired with red thread, 1 piece of red gauze silk worn as neckerchief, 1 large white pocket handkerchief, 1 large white cotton handkerchief with red and white bird's eye border. 2 unbleached calico pockets, tape strings, 1 blue strap bed tickling pocket, brown ribbed knee stockings darkened with white cotton. Possessions: 2 small bags, 2 short black clay pipes, 1 tin box containing tea, 1 tin box containing sugar, 1 tin matchbox empty. 12 pieces white rag, 1 piece coarse linen, white, 1 piece of blue and white shirting, 3-cornered, 1 piece red flannel with pins and needles. 6 pieces soap, 1 small tooth comb, 1 white handled table knife, 1 metal spoon, 1 red leather cigarette case with white metal fillings, 1 ball hemp, 1 piece of old white apron wood repair, 12 buttons, and a thimble. Mustard tin containing 2 pawn tickets, 1 in the name of Emil Burrell, 52 Whites Row, dated August 31st, 9 shillings for a men's flannel shirt. Getters in the name of Jake Kelly of 6 Dorset Street and dated September 28th, 2 counts for a pair of men's boots. Both risks are false. Printed handbill, portion of a pair of spectacles, 1 red mitten.
I have read and reread them, but give me something to do then. A task where I can get stuck in, because
Find me a slaughterhouse that will give us exclusive use of its block for an hour. And find me, in your opinion, which common animal shares the most characteristics with humans from a physiological point of view?
Pig?
I don't even know why I asked that question. Pray, find a dozen fresh pig's heads, Watson. Not big heads, I prefer small ones.
Sows?
That's it, Watson. As soon as you have done that, let me know. I request that you search in Whitechapel. Who knows, perhaps you will learn something about where Dr. Tumblety may be hiding. There is also no shortage of slaughterhouses and pig's heads in those parts.
Alright, and this will do it for today. So let me go ahead and make a save. Blammo. Yeah, so thank you for watching. You can find me at twitch.tv/gameswithnick. We'll be back Sunday morning, maybe sometime Saturday night. If you want to do a little bit more bonus stream, finish this game off. But definitely on Sunday morning to play some... What are I playing on Sunday? Batman Arkham Asylum. And then on Monday afternoon, we're going to be playing some more Assassin's Creed. Feel free to click the follow button and click the bell so you know when I go live in case I do some bonus streams. All my VODs are live on twitch.tv, on youtube.com/gameswithnick. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment. Always appreciate engaging with my audience. And yeah, this is going to do it for today's stream. I hope to see you all next time. Stop streaming button.